Welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to go over the New York State CCIA, which stands for Concealed Carry Improvement Act. This is New York State. This video here is only for New York State. I am a New York State duly authorized instructor. So, right from the website, it says minimum standards for classroom and training curriculum. Concealed carry firearm safety training must include 16 hours of in-person live classroom instruction conducted by a duly authorized instructor. So let me stop there. So here in New York State, well, at least in Erie County, in order to teach this course, you have to get your course curriculum blessed off or signed off by the licensing judge. His name is William Bowler. He will review your material, and you will get a letter certifying that you are authorized to teach this course in Erie County. You'll get a lever and file number, which is, like I said, will be mailed to you, and your instructor number will be kept on record with the county. So make sure that when you guys are taking these courses that your instructor is duly authorized, and if he's in Erie County or she's in Erie County, you must get approval from the licensing judge. Okay, or your students will take the course, they'll fill out their paperwork, they'll submit it, and if that instructor is not authorized to teach the course, it will get kicked back. This has happened already. I know a couple instructors who, during the midst of all this, were told to teach the course, went ahead and did so, and submitted their students' certificates at that point, and the students went down, filed the paperwork, and unfortunately it was kicked back. So going forward, make sure your instructor is duly authorized. If you need to see something, there's a letter that they send. He or she can show you that, and that's how you know they are duly authorized. So got that out the way. Like I said, duly authorized instructor. The curriculum must include the following topics: general firearm safety, including an overview of firearm and ammunition functions and operation, firearm cleaning and maintenance, safe handling practices, range safety rules, and proper holster considerations and retention strategies for safe concealed carry. And that right there, they want you to have a minimum of 2 hours. Number 2, we go down here to firearm safe storage requirements as defined in Penal Law 265.45 and 265.50. All right, so those are laws we have to go over in this course, and I go through the penal law as it's defined, and I give you each section that pertains to that point of instruction. All right. Then they want you to have a course on concealed carry situation awareness of surroundings, including firearm display and concealment. Yes, that is very important. Then we're going to do conflict de-escalation tactics. Okay, that's very important also, because if you can de-escalate a situation that you may be involved in, there's no need to pull a firearm. Okay, next is adverse effects of alcohol and drugs as it pertains to firearm safety. This is somewhat of a no-brainer, but you know, common sense isn't too common. No alcohol and drugs when you're using a firearm, carrying a firearm, or anything like that. They just don't mix. And that's another, I say for me, I think I do a good hour and a half to 2 hours on that section alone. Just explaining the effects of drugs and alcohol on a human body alone without even including the aspect of adding a firearm, which I do include, but I just spend at least an hour on that topic alone before I get into carrying a firearm while you are under the influence of some type of substance. Uh, Best practices when encountering law enforcement, i.e. a traffic stop. Alright, so a lot of us may get pulled over and we may have our firearm on us. I will go over in my class in detail how to handle that situation. Now, every situation is different, but there are some basics you need to know. The statutory defines sensitive places listed in Penal Law 65-1. Alright, so sensitive places. Here in New York State, if you're not from New York State and you're watching this video, I'll explain the sensitive places a little bit. So, in the Concealed Carry Act, the governor here has deemed certain areas where you are not allowed to carry a firearm. Some of those areas are parks, concerts, outdoor concerts, obviously, well, not obviously, but to include outdoor concerts, just things of that nature. Obviously, we know post office, federal, any state or federal building, that's been a no-brainer ever since I can remember. But now, like I said, the governor has added new places, and they include almost everywhere outside. Let's see here. Okay, so conflict management. That kind of goes back into the de-escalation of force tactics. So that that will be added in that course, in that block of instruction as well. Conflict management is very important because that's something where if you can even not even get into a conflict, that's when you're winning. Okay, like I said, everything doesn't end with the use of a firearm. Okay, the use of deadly physical force, including the circumstance in which deadly physical force may be considered justified, and when there is the duty to retreat, and that's covered in Penal Law 35. All right, and like I said, I'll get deep in the woods with that during my class. I'm not gonna do it here. I'm just explaining some of the topics they want us as instructors to talk about. Suicide prevention, including recognizing signs of suicide risk and resources to obtain assistance, including suicide hotline. I have all that outlined in my PowerPoint. Hotline, people to talk to, things of that nature, and that's a good 2 hours of instruction just on suicide awareness and prevention. Now we get into the actual shooting and on the range. Basic principles of marksmanship, including stance, grip, sight alignment, sight picture, breathing, and trigger control. That's at least an hour minimum. Sometimes I go a little bit over because there's a lot to marksmanship, but these are just the basics, and that's what I'm required to teach. But like I said, I go a step further to give you a little bit more information on that, and to help you out, help you to understand how to hit your intended target. Okay. Following the completion of the 16-hour in-person classroom instruction, each student must demonstrate proficiency by achieving a minimum correct answer score of 80% on a written test covering the course curriculum. So, everything that we've talked about in the classroom, it will be a test on, and you must get an 80% on that on the written test, as well as you must pass your range qualification. So, on that written test, so duly authorized instructors must develop and use and administer, a written proficiency test that evaluates the students' understanding of each of the minimum standards defined above. So, duly authorized instructors must maintain records of students' performance on the written exam for at least 5 years and shall make such records available upon request by the licensing officer or their designee. Okay, so basically, I have to keep your records for at least 5 years. They may want to pull records if you get into some type of altercation where your firearm was pulled, or you used a firearm, or whatever the case may be. Or they just may want your records immediately with the application. I haven't seen that yet, but anything's possible. I just know I have to hold on to them for 5 years. All right. Minimum standards for live fire training curriculum. Concealed carry firearm safety training must include 2 hours of live training conducted by myself, duly authorized instructor. The curriculum must include instruction on the following topics which proficiency will be evaluated during the live fire assessment. Alright, so range safety. We will go over range safety as it pertains to range commands, which direction you should point your firearm, how to hold a firearm, knowing the range limitations and things like that. Safe drawing, target acquisition, and reholstering. So basically that's you, the student, pulling your weapon out, pointing at a target, coming back, returning to the holster. Safe loading and unloading of ammunition. We'll go through that, how to load your mags or how to load your cylinders. And then, of course, safe discharging of the firearm. Of course, we're going to shoot. Obviously, we're on the range. Okay. Minimum standards for live fire proficiency assessment. Following completion of the 2-hour live fire training, each student must demonstrate proficiency by successfully completing a live fire assessment. To complete the live fire assessment, the student must, and we're going to go through the steps. Alright, so minimum standards for live fire proficiency assessment. Following the completion of the 2-hour live fire training, each student must demonstrate proficiency by successfully completing a live fire assessment. To complete the live fire assessment, the student must, and we're going to go over some of the steps they want you to perform with the firearm. I have a firearm here. This is a SIG P320 chambered in 9mm. I'm going to let you see that it is safe. No ammo in the magazine. No ammo inside the chamber here. Rock it back forward. Put it back on safe. Put the mag back in. Okay. This firearm is now safe. Okay. So what the student must do is perform a condition check and demonstrate that the firearm is in a safe and empty condition. Alright, so what will we do? We'll pick our firearm up, grab it, get high up on the back, on the beaver tail, make sure you got positive control of it. Should be on safe. We'll drop the magazine, rock the slide back, check our chamber visually, straight up there, no ammo in. Again, that firearm is safe. Alright. Without any ammunition loaded, safely draw the firearm from concealment and acquire a target and safely reholster. Alright, so what you're going to do is, again, no ammo in the chamber. Rock the slide forward. put the mag back. Firearm is still on safe. Okay, and I'm going to demonstrate a little bit of drawing from the holster. I don't have a holster on me, but I'm just going to give you a brief demonstration of how that would be. So, you would, so you're concealed, you would pull out, okay, and you would go to acquire your target by pushing out, okay. My finger is not inside the trigger well. Both hands are right on the slide. I have a good grip. And now, when I come back, I scan my area, and I reluctantly, with my touch point, I reholster. Okay? And that's how we do that there. Okay, we're still on. Alright, so next step would be safely load the firearm with 5 rounds of ammunition, not holstered the loaded firearm. Maintain a ready position with the firearm safely pointed down range. Alright, so how do we load? And these are here, these are dummy rounds. And we'll do 5 of them. Alright. Hey instructors, these pill bottles work miracles. Okay, now, what am I going to do? I'm still on safe. I'm going to drop the magazine. Okay, put the fire up. I'm going to rock the slide back. I'm going to put the firearm down. And I'm going to load my dummy ammunition. Okay, all loaded. Okay. Okay, load the firearm with 5 rounds of ammunition. Not holstered, load the firearm. Maintain a ready position with the firearm safely pointed downrange. Alright, so again, we're on safe. I'm going to put my mag in with my dummy ammo. I'm going to rock my slide forward. I'm still on safe. And they want me to be at the ready, but pointed downrange. So for this room, downrange is going to be this way. There's nobody else in this room with me, so I'm not flagging anyone. The camera is doing its own thing. So downrange at the ready. This is at the ready. So this is your low ready. We're at the ready, or you could be in a high ready. It all depends on what your surroundings are at the range. Okay, but for this classroom, we're going to be down ready is here. So it says maintain a ready position with the firearm pointed downrange. Okay, we're doing that. On the instructor's command to fire, aim at the target and fire all 5 rounds from a standing position from a distance of 4 yards. So you're going to be at 4 yards. The instructor's going to fire. You're going to push out and bang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that, the target must be 225 plus 1/2 inch by 11 inch paper target. At least 4 out of 5 rounds must be on target. Okay, it doesn't say, okay, drop the mag. We're still on safe. I'm gonna pull this back up. 1 round dropped out, as it should have. Okay, let me pick that up. Alrighty, so, okay, and it says, make sure all 5 rounds must be on target. Perform a firearm condition check and verify that the firearm is safe and in an empty condition. So, after we have fired, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, our slide should kick back. Okay, there should be no rounds in the. Look, I'm terrible at that. Jesus Christ. Alright, there should be no rounds in the chamber, right? Because we are empty, right? So, what they want us to do is to make sure that we are safe. And again, we'll put the weapon back on safe. We will check the chamber. No rounds in the chamber. Rock our slide forward. Back in a safe condition. Alright. So, and empty condition. Okay, so then we go down here. It says, duly authorized instructors may allow the live fire proficiency assessment to be completed using either live ammunition, non-lethal training ammunition, which includes making targets, marking cartridges, and other forms of simulated ammunition training cartridges that eject a projectile by the action of explosion. Saying about the ammunition, they're saying you must use something that uses a form of explosion to push a projectile out and to hit a target. Here, what we do over here at FYSA is we use 22s. We decided to go with 22s because they don't have a lot of kickback. The ammo's less expensive, and again, I don't know if I said that, but we provide the firearm, right? The firearm and the ammunition. So we'll be shooting. I think we'll be shooting the. Yep. We'll be shooting the Taurus. Okay. This is a 22 here, and it's clear. There's no mag in. There's no ammo in the chamber. Yep. No kick. The ammo's cheap, and we see a lot of good results with our students who have never touched a firearm. So this is the one that we use for our students to qualify on. There's a lot in here as far as the New York State penal law, 265-45 and 50, and then there's section 400, and then there's, like I said, there's Article 35, and there's section 898B of the New York State Penal Code. All these sections cover certain areas of the penal law, as far as the sensitive places, locking up firearms, the transfer of firearms, the sales between individuals, which can't happen unless you go through a FFL here in New York State. I'm pretty sure that's almost everywhere else it should be. The use, I think it said Article 35, yep, the use of deadly force, sensitive places, firearm safety. Okay, so that is what will be covered in our course. We do go a little bit further once we get past the qualifying with your pistol. We may do some threat assessment, just a little bit, but not too much, because we're not required to do so. We like to just give people just a little bit more for their money. The course is $465. That does include the use of the range, and that includes, like I said, the firearm and the ammunition. Usually now that the summer months are coming, we do our courses outside. It's a way better experience. You can kind of move a little bit freely. It's less stressful as opposed to being at a indoor gun range that has fixed positions that you can fire from. I don't know how successful people have been with the fixed positions. I go outside. I also have an indoor range that does not have fixed positions, and you can kind of move freely to assess your target and acquire your target. Okay. Again, I don't see how that can be successful at a gun range that has positions, the fixed positions. But hey, I don't know. I never tried it. I never will. So, again, I just wanted to give you guys a overview of what New York State wants and what we do here at FYSA to add to what New York State wants, as far as being compliant for your concealed carry license. I think that's about it. That's all I have for today. Check the website, onefysa.com. There's these cool t-shirts to wear. You probably won't get the one with instructor unless you're an instructor, but you're not an instructor at FYSA, so why would you get a FYSA instructor t-shirt? But anyway, the t-shirts on there are $30. Check the website out. Also, stay on our YouTube for more videos, and also check our Facebook page, FYSA LLC, and that's, like I said, that's on Facebook. Alright, I think I'm about to wrap this up. It's been real, and remember, while you're out there, remember, if you get into anything, you are your first responder. Take care.